Hey y'all, welcome to Diamond and Silk, the podcast with your host Diamond and Silk and Silk on Silk.
Diamond, oh diamond.
A lot to talk about, but before we get into it, I want you all to stop right now. And I want you to subscribe to this podcast so each time we drop a new episode, you will receive notification.
That's right.
And don't forget about our book, Uprising. Who the hell said you can't ditch and switch? The Awakening of Diamond and Silk. You can get the book at diamondandsilkbookstore.com.
And if you would like to advertise on this podcast, feel free to send us an email at info@diamondandsilk.com. That's info@diamondandsilk.com. And if you're tired of being censored by all those other social media platforms, then join Diamond and Silk's new social media platform called Chattit. ChatDit.com.
Wow. So we've been having a great time, you all, with all of these conversations that we're having.
Yes.
Well, guess what? Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is back. And honey, she's here to spill the beans and the collard greens while sipping on a little tea.
That's right.
Come on, y'all. Join the conversation with us.
Come on.
Congresswoman, welcome back to the show.
Yes.
We have a lot to talk about because we heard about a lot of shenanigans that's happening up there in that house, okay?
Yeah.
So first, let's start off with the voting rights. Something happened where Nancy Pelosi did some undercover stuff, passing some things. Can you please explain to us about these voting rights and how this is going to affect future elections?
Well, you're talking about HR1, which is the bill that the Democrats just passed last night. Late last night, they worked on it all week long. And HR1 is the federalization of elections all over the country. It is a dangerous bill. It's basically the worst bill they could pass, and it would make it very difficult for Republicans to win future elections. It takes away photo ID. It enables them to use the mail-in ballots anywhere and everywhere, ballot harvesting, you name it. It has every single bad practice of elections, election fraud in this bill, and they passed it last night. This is what Democrats are doing. They're trying to ram everything radical they can as fast as possible, straight through the House of Representatives. They're trying to push it through the Senate so that Joe Biden will sign it in the White House. But that was last night.
But why do it feel like to me that everything that supposedly that happened irregularly in the 2020 election is now trying to be passed as legal or as legislation right now?
Right. It's like they're trying to cover up what happened in 2020 by doing this.
Well, because it worked. And we know that because our favorite president is no longer in the White House. You see, everything they did in 2020 worked so well. As a matter of fact, they bragged about it in a recent Time magazine article. They perfected the way to win elections and take it away from conservatives, take away fair elections from Americans, which is shameful. They want to go further. You know, Biden's opening up the border. He has it wide open right now. Thousands of people are coming across. Just only a few months ago, President Trump had created such a secure border. His administration had done such a good job. But they want more illegals in our country because they want more illegal votes. And so, yes, that was a great question. Why are they doing this? Why are they changing our elections? It's because they perfected a plan that works and they want it to be permanent. But I will tell you, there is some hope with that so that people don't think all is lost.
Yeah.
Where our states are so important. State rights. State rights are huge. And this is why, you know, like my state, Georgia, they are passing through very strong election reform, and I'm so excited about it. So states like Georgia, states like Florida, oh my goodness, Governor Ron DeSantis has done an incredible job, and they have strong elections there. So even though HR1 sounds terrifying, this is where states are so important. And then also it has to get through the Senate, and it looks like it'll be very difficult for Democrats to get this HR1 election bill through the Senate. So don't lose hope yet, but it's everything they're trying to do in Congress. It's how you should look at Democrats to see their radical plans. Watch what Nancy Pelosi is doing in Congress.
Can I please just
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
One thing she just said about, you said that it'll be hard to get it in the Senate. So if the Democrats have control of the Senate, how would it be hard for them to ram this through the Senate if they have control?
Well, they have to get over 60 votes. And
Got it.
yeah, thank you for clarifying, because that's important for people to understand. Right now, it's 50-50. So it's 50 Republican, 50 Democrat, with Vice President Kamala Harris is the deciding vote. And unless they have more than 60 votes, they cannot get HR1 passed.
Oh, okay. Another thing when it comes to HR1, don't that goes against our Constitution? Because the Constitution already have our election rules set out that the states decide certain things.
That's right.
So with them trying to federalize our election, they're going against the Constitution in the first place. Am I right?
You're absolutely right, but everything they're doing goes against our Constitution.
Sure.
I mean, look at the Equality Act. They wiped out gender. They said that anybody can choose what sex, what gender they are, and then all of a sudden that person's rights are above everyone. They're above my rights, they're above your rights, they're above religious freedom, they're above business owners, doctors' rights. But this is what Democrats want to do. They don't care about our Constitution. They don't care about it at all. They only care about their agenda, their woke progressive agenda, and the path. I used to say socialism, but I think their end goal is actually communism.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
But think about it like this. How is it that a 5-year-old don't have a choice to go back to school, but you want to give them the choice to change their gender?
And mutilate themselves.
Exactly. That's how sick and disgusting. It's evil to the core. But the Democrats, that's exactly who they are. They don't care about someone's 5-year-old little boy or little girl. They don't care about their ability to go to school every day, to be able to learn to read and write and learn their math. They don't care about these kids going to school and playing with their friends, developing their social skills and their good psychological, healthy mental well-being.
Yeah.
That's what they do care about. They care about making sure these kids are confused about their gender. They also care about illegal children, and they care about their education. And that's why the Joe Biden administration has actual schools down at the border completely set up, and these schools are open. They're wide open. And they have teachers in place, and they're ready to educate illegal children while they're forcing American children to stay home.
You know what? Okay, so I have to keep myself calm because I don't want to catch a case.
That's right.
You mean to tell me we got children sitting around here about half crazy, don't know how to spell, don't know how to add or subtract, just confused, locked in a house, but you got illegal aliens crossing our borders, and y'all gonna give them some education and got schools set up with teachers, and you got these teachers that don't want to take their behinds back to school. This is crazy.
And you're going to pay for it. That's the other part. So not only do we have our kids at home, our teenagers who the depression rate, the suicide rate has gone up. These kids have lost their part-time jobs. They've lost their sports. They've lost all of their activities. They've lost prom. They've lost graduation. These kids, in elementary school and middle school, they've lost everything. But the Joe Biden administration wants our border wide open and is so proud to just let these illegals, anyone and everyone, let them in. But also, you know what? They love children in cages. They love it so much that they've created schools down at the border, and the American taxpayers are paying for it.
Wow.
So the schools are open for illegals, but not for American children.
You know, Congresswoman, this is why I keep telling people, it's time to drop the party affiliation and get on the same side. Because this is our taxpayer dollars that's got to pay for this. And I guarantee you, if we tried to do this here, we tried to cross the border in Mexico, they're not going to be setting up no schools for us and paying for all of this stuff.
They're going to tell you to turn around and go back to your own country.
To your own country and get in line and do it the right way. So I'm so disappointed about that.
That's so sad.
What do we need to do? I know you keep telling us to talk to us. How do we recall those people up there in Congress that's making these decisions?
Well, I tell you what, you ladies are so smart. You're so on point, and everything you're saying is exactly right. Maybe I should just beg both of you to run for Congress, because I need people like you. I need y'all up here fighting with me. I need more, and I love both of you, and you clearly love our country, and you love our American people so much that you don't even care about political parties. And I totally agree with you. You are right. We need to stop caring about Democrat and Republican and all these identities that go with it. And we need to just care about America first and Americans first. So thank you for loving our country the way you do.
Thank you. How do you propose for American citizens to want or be able to vote in any election in the future if their votes were canceled in 2020?
Well, that's a very important question. And so you have to start with your state, because these elections, the very states that we were upset about, we were objecting to 6 states, or what we did. Well, we couldn't finish it and do it the way we had planned to, but on January 6th, we were objecting to 6 states. And so those election issues have to be handled in the state. And I just encourage people to keep pushing about it. But another thing is with HR1, we passed it, or Democrats passed it in the House, and then no matter what Republicans said, it didn't matter. But what people can do is they can make sure it gets stopped in the Senate. And so here's marching orders. I love to give marching orders because I want people to know that they're able to do something. Posting on social media is not enough. As a matter of fact, nobody cares. But your actions do matter. And so HR1 is going to go through the Senate. The Equality Act is going to go through the Senate. And this awful defund the police, Democrats hate the police bill that they passed last night is also going to go through the Senate. And now with our Senate, with 50 Republican and 50 Democrat, they have to pull Republicans in to be able to pass these things. So the marching orders are this: put the pressure on the Senate. Put your pressure there. Call every single Republican senator, email them, visit their offices, nonstop pressure on these horrifying bills, HR1, the Equality Act, the defund the police bill. Put the pressure there, not only on the Republican senators, find those moderate senators, Manchin, Sinema, any moderate senator you can find, and any senator that is in a very close district that has an election coming up, a Democrat that has an election coming up in 2022, put so much pressure on them and let them know, we are going to beat you in 2022. We will knock you out. Don't you dare vote for HR1. Don't you dare vote for the Equality Act. Don't you dare vote to defund our police officers. These are the things people can do, and it will matter. It will matter so much, because let me tell you, most politicians are terrified of public pressure, and they want more than anything to get reelected so they can stay up here in the swamp and keep doing their swamp thing. And so that's why the people's voice matters. So get on that Senate and let them know how you feel.
So we need to write, we need to call, we need to not get on social media necessarily, because they'll shut you down and call it fake news or fact check you and all of this other stuff. But we need to get off of our hind parts, you all. Okay, and we got to go to work to save our country.
That's what we got to do.
That's what we got to do, because our country is under siege right now.
It is.
So we got to write, we got to call, we got to do
and put pressure on these senators so that they will not pass this here, because all of this here. Listen, let me tell you something when it comes to voting rights. If you can have an ID to go buy beer, to go buy cigarettes, to get on welfare, to fly, to go to the doctor, you can have a ID to vote. Okay, all right. And this mail-in ballot stuff, this stuff is shady. We need to really look at this here really, really closely if we want fair and free elections in this country.
That's right.
And this Equality Act, whenever you take and you give people extra rights, you're giving them extra privilege. We all should be equal. So why do a group of people, 1%, need extra rights? When I go into a restaurant, I don't ask nobody about their sexual orientation.
Right.
What I want to know, can you make this burger, make it medium well, and make sure you put some lettuce, tomato, and little ketchup on it.
And don't forget the pickles.
You see what I'm talking about?
That's right.
And defunding the police. Do you know who that's going to affect? The minority community.
Absolutely.
The minorities. When you talk about defunding the police.
Shame on the Democrats for talking about defunding the police but now you want more security out there at the Capitol.
That's right.
DC.
And what is that about?
Yeah.
What is that? All of that military up there, Congresswoman. We are becoming concerned out here in these streets.
Yes.
Yeah, I really do want to tell you, I wish more than anything that you were here and I could take you for a walk and show you everything. And maybe you'll come visit me sometime, and I would love to show you around and show you firsthand exactly what's going on. And you could do a whole documentary on this. And I invite you personally to come and do that with me. But I will fill you in. So the defund the police bill, you're absolutely right. It endangers minority communities, because this bill, what it does is it takes away police officers' qualified immunity. And so that means if a police officer makes an arrest and the criminal they arrested is offended or upset over anything the police officer did, they can sue them. They can take them to court and sue the police officer. And you know, they don't make very much money to begin with. Another thing that it does is it puts police officers, I call it on Biden's hit list. Any police officer that gets a complaint filed against them, whether it's justified or even unjustified, just any complaint, it puts the police officers on a list that's managed by Biden's Attorney General, and it's a public website. And so what this is going to do is it's basically going to I say it's going to castrate police. It's going to make them so weak and ineffective, they're either going to retire, they're not going to want to enforce the law, and we need police officers to enforce the law. And we have them up here right now at our Capitol. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, they keep just, you know, they're constantly complaining about, oh my gosh, the so-called insurrection, and you know, it really was, it was just a riot at the Capitol where people broke in the Capitol and they should have never done it, and no one single person has agreed with it. Everyone said they're against it. But if you were to come up here right now, they have the Capitol completely surrounded with this big fence with razor wire all over the top. And then today, because there was supposed to be something happening on March 4th, some kind of conspiracy theory about March 4th, they have it surrounded with extra police and extra National Guard. And let me tell you something, there is nothing happening, nothing. And do you want to know how much it costs? How much it costs on every day, every single day? This costs over $4 million a day. $4 million a day is how much it costs to keep that fence and the National Guard up here in a completely empty, shut down Washington, D.C. And there's no threat whatsoever.
We are being ripped off. How do we defund Congress?
This is
okay.
There you go.
Do something that's the American
That's
people.
the one. Yes.
How do we defund Congress? I saw where they was having a hearing about January the 6th. I have yet to see a hearing about last summer, whenever Black Lives Matter and Antifa was running rapid through this country, burning down these different cities, these different businesses, reaping havoc on we, the American people. Where is the hearing on that?
That's right.
No, you're right. And I got to tell you, I wish I could take you last night. So we're in the chamber in the House floor last night, and I'll tell you exactly what was going on. We were having the debate back and forth, and it was about the defund the police bill. And I had 1 minute to speak. We get very little time to speak. So I had 1 minute to speak. And I want you to know who was sitting in the speaker's chair. Not Nancy Pelosi. All right. I know she's our Speaker of the House, and everyone thinks that she's in that chair all the time. But I'll tell you right now, that 80-year-old woman is hardly ever in that speaker's chair. Wow. It's usually another Democrat. So she hardly ever does her job. But you know who was in the speaker's chair? It was Congresswoman Ilhan Omar from Minnesota. And you know who she is. So I got to address her, and I had to call her Madam Speaker. So whoever is in the chair, whether it's a man or woman, it's either Mr. Speaker or Madam Speaker. So I said, Madam Speaker, you know, Democrats supported riots that burned American cities. Democrats shared the Minnesota Freedom Fund bail link on their website. And I'm talking to her because she was the one that did it. You know, bailing criminals out of jail. And now Democrats want to defund the police after they supported these riots that burned these cities. Many of these were minority cities in these areas, I mean, minority businesses. They're American businesses, and they attacked regular people, innocent people, and police officers. And I'm looking straight at her, and it just was unbelievable to me to be talking to a woman that literally was helping criminals get bailed out of jail while they're trying to pass a defund the police bill.
Yeah.
So you can't even make this up.
Yeah. Where is the hearing on that?
No hearing.
Need to be there in the hearing because she supported that.
She supported it.
If they did that, this is what the hearing needs to be about.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And it's disgusting whenever you got people out here suffering in America because they're not suffering because of the virus. They're suffering because of these governors shutting down their states. But you are allowing illegal aliens who's tested positive for the China virus to cross our borders and run amok and run rapid here in America, while average Americans who didn't even test positive for no COVID, you got them locked down.
Shut down. Doesn't make any sense.
That don't make no sense.
That's right. And every American has to wear a mask everywhere they go, and we're shut down. And our businesses have suffered, and small businesses have closed. And think about, this is the heartbreaking one. How many people have died alone this year because their families were not allowed to come in the hospital with them?
Yes,
and they may have died from cancer or any other ailment, and they may not have even had COVID at all, but they died by themselves because of these horrible rules where their family members couldn't come in and hold their hand in their last dying breaths. And this is all over a Chinese virus. I mean, that we've lost so much. We've lost so much in 2020.
And to us, Congresswoman, it seemed like they're really trying to bankrupt this country and bankrupt the American people. The whole system just crashes what they're trying to do. You talk about the people that's in the hospital, people that wasn't able to visit with their loved ones. It brings me back to our elderly and what the governor of New York did by signing that executive order, ordering those COVID-19 patients in with our elderly. He wasn't the only one that did it. We also had the governor in Michigan. I believe the governor of Pennsylvania is being alleged have done this. What's going to be done about this? Because in our opinion, this is crimes against humanity. So what can be done about this?
Well, not only was it Governor Cuomo and the governor of Pennsylvania, but it's also Joe Biden's new deputy health secretary, transvestite, Dr. Rachel Levine. I mean, this is insanity. So that's what we have going on. We're putting the trans up there in charge. The same trans doctor, you know, I refuse to call him she, that put COVID patients in there, but he pulled his mother out. He pulled his mother out of the nursing home and then let them go in there and kill people. You know what they're bankrupting? They're bankrupting everything in America, but they're trying to bankrupt our spirit. And we cannot allow that to happen. We cannot allow these horrible things and all of the things that we think we've lost. We cannot let it bankrupt our spirit, because if we can hold on to our spirit and who we know we are in the eyes of God, and who we know we are as Americans, and stay together on that, then we will win, and we'll come out of this, and we'll beat them, and we'll come out stronger and more united than ever before. Because you know what's so great, and Trump showed us this, and he paved the way and truly made it possible. And this is what I love about the MAGA movement and who we're the Republican Party and how it's grown over the past 4 years, is we defy everything that they say and lie about us. We prove constantly that we aren't racist. We prove constantly that we want every American to succeed. We prove constantly that whether you started out homeless or poor, or no matter who you are and how you started out, we want you to be able to succeed as an American. And so I just urge people, you know, when we talk about these things, don't let them bankrupt your spirit, and don't let them steal it away, because it's not gone. It's just, it just looks dark right now.
It just looks, thank you for saying that. They may try and bankrupt this country, but they won't bankrupt our spirit. I love it.
I have another quick question, because I know you got to go. I want to just ask you a question about the Supreme Court justice, okay? What are they? Why do we even have them in place if they won't take and defend and uphold the Constitution like they said in their oath that they would do? Why are they even here in place?
Well, I know we've been disappointed with Brett Kavanaugh recently, and disappointed with our new Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court. We were disappointed in how they ruled on President Trump's case on the election. And our great Supreme Court Justice Thomas Clarence, he wrote that dissension about that, and it was like, oh my gosh, at least there's one. And that's how it all opened our eyes. And we said, at least there's one. I don't know. I'm just as disappointed as you are about that. And I wish so much, I think they're scared. I think every, all these judges.
They're being bullied.
Well, and they're terrified because, so imagine if you are the judge that takes on the one case about the election, right? So you know what happens to that judge? They get all the pressure of the media, all the pressure of the left, all the pressure of the rhinos that wanted Trump to fail all along, and they're so happy and celebrating now that he's out. And so that judge would have to withstand all of that pressure. And I'm hoping we see a judge do the right thing, but I think in all honesty, that's what's happening.
Let me say this. When you take that oath to uphold the Constitution, your personal perspective is not supposed to be in place. It's supposed to be about the law and being unlawful. You're supposed to be there to decide that, period. It's supposed to be bipartisan, not partisan based off of, I'm scared to touch this. Because why are you in that position to do a job and you're not doing your job? Right. Why are our tax dollars being used to pay them for their services if they're not rendering their services? As the Supreme Court Justice, when you take that oath to uphold the Constitution and to protect the Constitution, if the Constitution have been broken, you're supposed to be there to say yay or nay, not sit back and fold and go cold.
Because there's no other law that supersedes our Constitution.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. No, and you're absolutely right, and they should do it. And another issue is this, is all of these cases, they have thousands of people that have signed these affidavits at risk of perjuring themselves. Go to jail if they are caught lying about what they are, witnesses to with election fraud. And if anything, their voices should be heard.
Right.
They have everything to lose. These attorneys and all these other people, they don't have anything to lose. They didn't sign their name like that.
Right.
But our judges, they should hear it. They should, because like you said, they signed up for the job, and a lot of pressure comes with that.
That's right.
Well, here's the takeaway, you all, that I want you all to know. First of all, we have to put a little pressure on our senators. So make sure that you contact them to let them know, do not pass this HR1.
That's right.
Okay, this Equality Act, don't pass that, or this defunding the police. Because none of these things make sense, and we already explained that. And the one thing that Margie said, listen, they may bankrupt this country, but don't let them bankrupt our spirits. I love it.
Yeah, and don't forget to write, call, do what you need to do. We have to take back our country.
That's right.
It's up to us to do the work.
And we have the power.
We have the power.
So we have to use it.
All the power. The people have all the power. So use it. Use it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me on, and please come see me sometime.
We will.
I'll take you all around, and you can show everybody what's going on.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, that was a great conversation.
Phenomenal.
With great information.
Yes.
Oh, what a lovely show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Make sure you start right now. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast, so each time we drop a new episode, you will receive notification. And don't forget about our book, Uprising. Who the hell said you can't ditch and switch the awakening of Diamond and Silk? You can get the book at diamondandsilkbookstore.com.
And if you would like to advertise on this podcast, feel free to send an email to info@diamondandsilk.com. That's info@diamondandsilk.com. And if you're tired of being censored by all these other social media platforms, then join Diamond and Silk's new social media platform called Chattit. ChatDit.com. And don't forget to give us a review, and a 5-star will do.
Listen, we was just coming to give y'all the 211. We call it the 211 because it's two of us.
And we're the ones giving it to you.
So in the meantime and in between time, we will see you all next time right here on Diamond and Silk, the podcast.
Bye-bye.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so you all keep asking us, when are you all going to get the Chattit app? When are you all going to get the Chattit app? Well, here's the ways where you can get Chattit on your phone. So each time we drop a Chattit post, you will receive notification. So here's what you do. You go to any search bar on your phone. You key in Chattit, ChatDit.com. Once the page come up, you click on the bubbles. At the very top, once you click on that, it's going to say add to home screen. You click on add to home screen and voila, it's on your desktop on your phone. So each time Diamond and Silk drop a Chattit post or a video, you will receive notification.
That's right.
I'm sorry, we have to work around these tech giants because they're raining down their tyranny and we can't let that happen.
That's right.
So just follow those directions and you will stay connected to Diamond and Silk.
So now that Diamond have shown you and told you what to do, go do it now.
That's right.
Chattit, ChatDit.com.